Here with Jim Lampley now. Jim, the biggest buzz going in boxing at the time was Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin. We came this week with Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev. Then the announcement came on Wednesday, Mayweather versus McGregor. Is that the biggest competition for those two fights?
In terms of pay-per-view sales, yeah, sure. You know, obviously, the reason they chose the date of August 26th was for the specific purpose of taking a bite out of the pay-per-view for Canelo versus Triple G, or they could say beating the Canelo Triple G fight to the consumer's dollar. That's the only reason in the world anybody would choose August 26th, which is an extremely counterintuitive pay-per-view date. It's exactly the kind of date nobody would previously have chosen for pay-per-view, because the conventional wisdom is you wait until after Labor Day, kids are back in school, people are home from vacation, etc. That's the time to sell pay-per-views. They chose August 26th for the specific purpose of trying to blunt the impact of Canelo versus Triple G, and that's their privilege. They can do that. But it's Riggs King. It's a freako hybrid event which has no particular meaning for either sport. Floyd is not an active boxer anymore. McGregor is not a boxer, period. You know, I think it is an utterly meaningless competition. And by the way, I don't even think it is a competition, because while I've always clung to the notion that no MMA guy is going to go in and beat Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match, I'm even more devoted to that now than I was 24 hours ago, because I've learned in the last 24 hours that McGregor's fighting style is exactly the wrong style for fighting Floyd Mayweather. He's not an attacker. He's a natural counterpuncher. He stands back, waits for guys to come to him, tries to knock them out with one big punch. Guess what? Floyd Mayweather's not coming to him. Right. If he wants to stand back and look at Floyd, Floyd will stand back and look at him. No counterpuncher has ever given Floyd Mayweather trouble for even a second. The only guys who've ever given Floyd Mayweather trouble over a sustained period of time were Jose Luis Castillo in 2 fights and Marcos Maidana. Both of them face-first aggressive brawlers who forced him back into the ropes and threw 75 or 80 punches around just trying to land something. It's not what McGregor does. And so at the end of the day, it's even worse competition than I thought it was.
You said it well. Now let's talk about Sergey Kovalev versus Andre Ward. We got two men who clearly do not like each other. There was a lot of controversy surrounding the fight last year. A lot of fight fans, a lot of fight critics had Sergey winning the fight. You have Andre Ward's camp saying that John David Jackson is trying to skip camp into Andre Ward's team. What do you think about that?
You know, Kovalev calls that gamesmanship. The people on Ward's side say he can dream if he wants to, but his guy actually wanted to leave to come here. There have been some hard feelings in the past between Kovalev and John David Jackson. Maybe something came up again. At the end of the day, that's all water under the bridge at this moment as they get ready for tomorrow night. It's a grudge match in a lot of ways. First of all, how many times do you see a rematch in which both guys have a revenge motive? In this one, Kovalev has a revenge motive because a decision went against him that he thinks was wrong. Exactly. Ward has a revenge motive because the public and the media agreed that the decision was wrong by and large. About 67 to 70% of people believe that Kovalev won the first fight. So Andre wants to prove everybody wrong for having criticized the decision. Add to that, they don't like each other. Add to that, the promoters don't like each other. The negotiation to make the fight was torturous. So if you feel as though a fight benefits from hard feelings on both sides, you could scarcely find more hard feelings than are at play tomorrow night.
And who's winning tomorrow night?
Whoever is able to make the adjustments he wants to make after the first fight. If Ward can get off to a faster start and make Kovalev achieve the mindset of the second half of the first fight earlier, discourage him a little bit, show that his tactical command in the second half of the fight was real and he can sustain it over 12 rounds of a rematch, then Ward is going to win the fight. If Kovalev can knock him down again, the way he did in the first fight, and this time keep him down, then he's going to win the fight. And Kovalev's other method for winning the fight is to achieve better conditioning and sustain his energy better, because he says that he hit the wall in the 5th round of the first fight, and if you look back and watch it, you can see it. You can see that his energy level went down in the second half, and his hard punches weren't as hard in the second half of the fight. Kovalev made one move. He brought in a new strength and conditioning trainer, and he comes from the sport of biathlon. I like that, because if there's any sport in the world where they are on absolutely the scientific cutting edge in understanding conditioning, stamina, retention of energy, etc., it's biathlon. Biathletes ski for 15, 20 kilometers, and then they have to slow their heart rate down while they ski to prepare to shoot the gun. So what a biathlon trainer is trying to teach Kovalev is how to relax, how to slow his heart rate in the ring so that he can recover better from the exertion. They're looking for a little of that Evander Holyfield thing. Remember how Holyfield used to, go down or get beat up and looking though he was completely done, and then all of a sudden you'd see this resurgence. Yeah, burst of energy. There he is again, etc. How did that happen?
By George Foreman.
Unique recovery ability. That's what they want to see from Kovalev in this fight.
Interesting. 2017 is shaping out to be a great year for us boxing fans. We got Canelo Alvarez taking on Triple G. Talk to us about that fight and why it's so important to the boxing community.
We've waited for it for a while. There's been a long and agonizing buildup. It's the ultimate search and destroy fight. You have a very aggressive attacker, Gennady Golovkin, against a very aggressive counterpuncher, Canelo Alvarez. They're made for each other. They have similar skills within the difference of those two styles. Both have great left hooks. Both are committed body punchers. Both can hurt you upstairs or knock you out with one punch upstairs. It's just a tremendous matchup in every way. In addition, if I had to pick the two fighters in boxing globally who know the most about running their lives, managing their lives for the purpose of being the best they can be as prize fighters, these are the two guys. Quiet lives away from the ring, constant hard work in the ring, devoted training, try to polish their craft all the time. Couldn't be better. So it should be emotionally exciting. It should be tactically exciting. It could be breathtaking, violent combat between the two of them. They're both great at what they do. I can't wait for September 16th.
Well, if fight fans want to see a circus act or a train wreck, they can tune in on August 26th, Mayweather versus McGregor, or they can tune in on September 17th and see an explosive match, Canelo versus Triple G.
I'll put it this way. What would you rather spend your pay-per-view money on, Riggs King or Hagler Hearns? That's the choice.
Thank you.